Welcome back to another Marvel Snap video. This week, we've got the Ancient One coming. So utilizing Snap.fan here, we're going to look at a deck that I'm going to be trying day one of getting the Ancient One. But, so when I was thinking, what's a good card to get the effect of, it was Victoria Hand. So with Victoria Hand, you can, you want more copies of those. Anyways, so why not? And with Victoria Hand, oh, that's a nice variant. You've got Iron Patriot, and the deck just kind of makes itself. And the Ancient One, before I get too ahead of myself, adds Tau Mandala to the hand, which is a skill, and when you play it, will take and copy one ongoing effect on a card to all other cards in that lane. So again, with Victoria Hand, or we also have Joaquin Torres in the deck, you'll be able to get, 2 or 3 hands or Torres, etc. So the deck, besides that, we've got Merlin in. We've got a lot of cheap cards, so we can send them back to the deck. We can polymorph them and just kind of keep building up, these cards, using them on Torres and then turning them into something better. We've got Strange to eat them to gain power. Collector's going to be gaining power every turn with Merlin and Iron Patriot, Valentina, etc. And so the deck just kind of is like these really low-cost scalers that can, over the course of the match, just get really big. Nicholas Scratch is even in here because you're going to be playing those Merlin spells. Also, the Tau Mandala is a skill, and they're all skills. And I think Nicholas Scratch's best days are ahead of him. He is something you could sub out for more tech. So, anyways, that's the deck. You've got the Hood, Maria Hill. You could even throw in the Sentinel, because that's an easy, you're gaining points for the collector every turn. But the way I've set up the deck, it's pretty much going to feed itself. Your hand will be pretty stuffed, especially with the skills every turn with Merlin, and then the Ancient One throwing a skill and, double up. So if you were to put in something like Sentinel, you'd have to take out either Merlin and Scratch, or you'd have to take out Torres or something like that. So that's where I think do I think that the Ancient One is going to be a great card? I'll say this for the card. It's going to be a lot like Prodigy, where it'll have its moments where it really shines, but will it largely be lost or forgotten after its season, or even after its week. But I like their thought process. What if Wong, but for ongoing? And they did it in a really creative, smart way, making it a skill rather than an ongoing. Really leans into, he's the Sorcerer Supreme, right? Or not Wong. Wong is like a master of portals, but you get the idea. They already had those early concepts, right? Before they started really leaning into the theme of what, what a card is compared to its counterpart. But anyways, tying it back to Wong in that way, but for ongoing, is pretty cool. I just wish maybe it was an on reveal instead of a skill. It's the same thing we were saying about Elixir, where if Elixir was an activate instead of an on reveal, it'd be so much better, right? And so it is what it is. But looking at cards that you could potentially copy, something like a Captain America or Captain Carter, Mr. Fantastic, those are all greats. Just because a card, I don't think it's replacing the text. I think it's just adding the text to other cards, which is really nice. But Miss Marvel, Man-Thing, pretty strong. Blue Marvel, obviously, one. Sarah, throwing that down on turn 6 in a Surfer deck's going to be really huge, especially since Tau Mandala is a 3 cost. They'll be able to benefit from Silver Surfer. One thing I've done off and on is a ongoing Surfer deck, so running things like Punisher and Captain America, Captain Carter, all those cards that are 3 cost, and then bumping them up. You could even do Patriot in the deck with Mysterio, and then buff the, Mystique or Tau Mandala, the Patriot. There's a lot of fun things you can do with this. I think it is going to be a fun card. Will it be like, oh, this is meta breaking? I don't know. It's going to feel worse because everybody's going to be running Enchantress. And then it's like, okay, well, I could play Cosmo, but I have to play Cosmo after the Tau Mandala, and my stuff might get rogued or Enchantress before then, and it's just a mess. So things like Gorgon, going to be really huge for Darkhawk decks, et cetera, et cetera. The list goes on. So yeah, I think it'll be a fun card, if not the best card, and certainly not the best card this week. But, we'll see where it goes. That's where I'm going to start. Be sure to leave a like, subscribe, all that stuff. Let me know which deck you are going to be trying out with her. And thanks for watching.